Hi guys, so back with another video. We've got the gym all to ourselves and it's another dynamic session, lower this time. So we moved away from the chains, high bars. This time we're doing some banded SSB. Got a fresh set of Elite FTS green bands, so we'll see how this has gone. My last pair were quite worn. 8 sets of 2 again trying to focus on being nice and speedy. So let's see how this goes. First working set, just get my mouth guard. Let's go. Oh yes. Can really tell as you balance that is going to be hardcore at the end of this. We might end up dropping the weight slightly. We'll see how it goes. It's always, this is the first time I've been used for squats, so I've not been really stretched like this before. And the reason we use bands instead of chains is you can't really outrun bands in the way you do chains, or we're trying to pull you down, so you've really got to work through the force of the band pulling you down. A little bit more stable as well. So you can find some people are really good at squatting with bands, dreadful at free squatting, because it works like a Smith machine. If you use too much bands, shouldn't be a problem here. Yeah, very nice though. Really good, maybe not quite as quick as I've been hoping for, but it's been a heavy week of training, so I'll take that for now. So I'll probably come back and show you the last 2 sets. So 2 sets left to go. Definitely feeling hard for the first week. What I will say though is that because my squats jumped so much, started last year 240 was a max squat. Then I got 260, 2.5 at Brits, 2.5 at Worlds. So in a short period of time, my squat has jumped a lot. So last block, this is like 5 kilos off of my top set would have been. Top weight for waves would have been. Now it's starting, so. One set left of them. So yeah, what I'm basically trying to say is, when you've done when you do speed work and you use the west side percentages in the wave, when you do like a big PG jump, when you go back to it, just refresh it bands on, it feels a lot harder. If I did the weights that I was doing for my last lot in the pendulum waves, based off like the 240 in particular, we'll be starting at 120, 130 would roughly be the second week, 140 would be the top week, and now we're doing 135 for our first week. Based on that, like 50% of your max squat. Right, last set. Yeah, definitely not the most dynamic squat test, but yeah, we'll take that. It's been a ridiculously busy week. If you've watched the videos, it's been a ridiculously heavy week. Rep PBs in squat and bench, so we'll take that. So we're going to go on to speed deadlift next. Film it very much the same way, so I'll see you then. So speed deadlifts up next. Some orange on this one. Again, 8 singles for this one. These, like we said in previous videos, we actually do the percentage is slightly higher. So 60, 65, 70, because we really want to work on heavy deadlifts, heavy lockout power when we're doing our speed work. This is the first set of the bands on, so we'll see how this goes. If you've watched any of the videos, you know deadlift. I know I've not put heavy deadlifts on for quite a while, but deadlifts have been feeling the most inconsistent of the 3 lifts. Squats and bench have been felt amazing. Deadlifts have been feeling a bit iffy, so we'll see how this goes, and then be back. Oh, nice. That actually felt much nicer than the last one I did at 116.5 before I put the bands on, so happy with that. Yeah, good. I think just a bit more focused, a bit more switched on. Trying to get it out. So again, decent amount of band tension at the top, just really trying to overload that lockout. Lockout has always been my hardest part in deadlift, partly because I've got little weenie arms, which is good for benching, not as good for deadlifting. Yeah, so we'll go for the second one. Nice, yeah, felt good. Tried to just sit back a little bit more on that one, which felt good. Again, as I said, because of this, because you're doing speed work, you're doing 8 sets of something, which are 8 chances to reset up, redo your lifts. So you can play around with setups, bits and pieces like that if you're not feeling good, which is one of the biggest benefits I found. And my deadlift, since I started putting speed work back in, my deadlift has felt better because I've been able to just play about with foot position and bits and pieces like that. So we'll go for the third. I'll stop. We'll come back and film the last 2. Nice, very happy with those. So I'll see you for the last few. So 2 sets left. They've actually been feeling much better than I was expecting, so it's always a nice surprise. What I've been focusing on is trying to have more of a vertical shin angle to the back and have the straightest movement possible. I think a lot of times I end up with my knee over the bar, so I'm just trying to focus on that nice vertical shin angle. I've been reading the Elite FTS deadlift code book, deadlift cheat code book, something along those lines. It's been very helpful, very cheap on their website as well if you wanted a good deadlift book to read. So I'm trying to just, a couple of bits I picked in there again. I think sometimes with deadlift, you can very much get in your head and you try and think about things too much. So I'm just trying to not think about things too much, just focus on little bits, make some small tweaks, and hopefully things will feel better. Nice, feeling really good. 1 set left. Much better than feds, much better than the warm-ups are feeling as well. So hopefully we've cracked a little bit of something in our deadlifts, which will be nice. But yeah, last set. And then we've got some dead stop good mornings. One of my favourite variations, heavy resistance exercise, however you want to look at it. So I'll pull this and we'll see you in that video. We'll take that. So dead stop good mornings next. So basically doing dead good mornings off the pins, going nice and heavy with these, 3 to 5 reps. Really good for obviously posterior chain training. Again, any kind of hinging movement, really good for improving speed off the floor when deadlifting as well. One of my favourite exercises, one of my favourite ways of doing good mornings. I'm going to see if I can get under with my belt on. Could be entertaining to watch. Right, so gonna go. Oh, yeah, how those felt. So, obviously, by starting on the pins and taking up the eccentric part of the movement, that first rep is much harder. So, watch it a bit like we were talking about in the bench video last week with the dead flip pin presses. It's about creating that energy from nothing, just making it a little bit harder, but teaching you how to produce power in different positions. So, 2 more sets of them, and we're off onto the belt squat. Oh. So I actually forgot to do, well, I forgot to send the mic on for these, is what I should say. So we're just here doing a little after session voiceover for this. So what we're doing here is we're doing some narrow stance belt squats, and we're doing as many reps as we can in 45 seconds. So we've got 140 kilos on the belt squat. And the reason that we do it like this is it's really good for getting volume into the quads without having to have any spinal loading, which is one of the best reasons to use a belt squat in my mind. And it's also a really good way for keeping to build work capacity in the quads as well. Also helps you, train squat patterns as well, again, without having to put a bar on your back. And yeah, just a nice, fun, different variation to do. I know we're not super duper narrow here watching it back, but we're literally there's a hole in the middle of the plate, so about as narrow as we can get. Our feet still a really good quad worker. And again, it's just like doing the sled walks. It's just like doing any of the timed work you've seen us do before. It's all about capacity. It's about blood flow. It's about keeping everything nice and healthy. Also has some benefits for knee health as well. Yeah, just a nice different variation to do. And on a session where, there's a lot of heavy stuff, it's a really nice one just to chuck in to like get that bit of volume in, like we were saying. So that's it. I'll let you watch the end of the video for these, and then we'll see you in the next exercise, which is quite a fun one to watch, something new that I've been working on, something I wanted to try for a while. So I hope you enjoy watching that, and I'll see you in that exercise. Right, guys, so a completely new exercise. Up next, we've just tried the first set of this. First time I've done it. So basically what we're doing is we're putting the belt squat on its on and then trying to deadlift. So it's trying to pull you forward all the time, so you've got to really focus on keeping your weight in your heels. And it's hard to get your hips through the top, so it really works. The hips, so I'm going to get the belt on. So we've got 80 kilos on the belt squat, 100 kilos on the bar, and really don't need much more. So we're going to take this down. It's just hard now to get to the back. It's already trying to put you forwards. So, as you can see, so get the bar. But really focus on pulling it into ourselves. Right, there we go. Jesus. Yeah, very hard exercise. All the time it's just trying to pull you forward. So you've got to keep that weight in the heels. So you should be keeping the bar close to you. I'd definitely recommend giving that a go. Yeah, really fun exercise. Really pull the glutes off that one as well. So Yeah, might find a new favourite variation. Jesus Christ.